It's Glover! And just as we were promised, Glover is coming to the Nintendo Switch! Not too long ago, I made another video where I talk about 10 underrated games that I feel should be on the Nintendo Switch. Glover was one of those games. I specifically mentioned wanting these games on Nintendo Switch Online, but it turns out NSO isn't the only way to bring old games back onto the Switch. An indie game company called Piko Interactive, with the help of Limited Run Games, is releasing Glover on the Nintendo Switch. Apparently, Piko is the indie game company that currently owns the Glover IP, and Limited Run Games is the name of the company that's publishing the game. Thanks to Limited Run Games, WayForward was able to bring the original Shantae for Game Boy Color onto the Nintendo Switch. And it's also thanks to them that Glover is going to be on the Nintendo Switch as well. You can pre-order the game on the Limited Run website between August 13th and September 15th. Be aware that this is the physical copy of the game you're pre-ordering. I checked the Switch eShop and the game doesn't even seem to be available for pre-orders there. Now, when the game does come out, I expect it to be the exact same game we got on the N64. This means that I expect the game to have the same primitive, clunky gameplay style that it always did. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game and I love it, but sometimes this game can be a bit too challenging for its own good. By that I mean sometimes it ranges from unfair to just downright unplayable in terms of gameplay and mechanics. I'm talking about how easy it is to accidentally lose the ball in some stages. Not to mention the clunky controls where you can accidentally do something and you mean to do another, like you accidentally throw the ball when you didn't mean to. Stuff like this happened to me an awful lot when I was doing a playthrough of the game. I learned all I could about this game as best as I could, or as best as the game would teach me, but there's a lot of things in this game that I had to figure out for myself. I had to figure out that the yellow potion was speedy. Mr. Tip wasn't there to teach me that this potion allows Glover to stick to walls and ceiling. He also wasn't there to teach me about the slot machines or the other carnival games on the carnival level. Really, this game has a handful of things that I had to figure out on my own. And some of the stuff I couldn't figure out, I had to look up online. Overall, this game is just not as user-friendly or well-designed as it could be. There are times during my playthrough of the game when I thought, that is bad game design, that is bad level design. No good game would make me sacrifice a heart or even an entire life for anything. That's just bad design. Of course, lots of old games weren't at their very best when it came to level design and difficulty curving. Not like a lot of games today. A lot of old games re-released in places like the NSO mitigated this by adding something called suspend points, or save states as they are more commonly known. Even the limited run re-release of Shantae added save states, and it's perfectly understandable. These games can be very hard at times, and it can be frustrating. Even WayForward knew that their very first Shantae game was at times difficult, so they decided to add save states in order to help players who weren't very good at it. My point is, I'm really hoping they do the exact same thing with Glover. Now, given the circumstances, I don't think that this physical release or even the digital release of the game will have save states. It doesn't seem to mention it anywhere on the Limited Run website. I'm not asking for this game to have a save states feature, but I would really appreciate it, not just because some players will find this game very hard, but because of how frustrating, unfair, or even downright unplayable this game can be at times. Did I mention that Glover has a tendency to erase your save files? Although this could be tied to the N64 cartridges and not to the game itself. All of that aside, I'm still really excited that this game is coming out on the Nintendo Switch. In fact, I even already pre-ordered it on the Limited Run Games website. If you're watching this video before September 15th and want to reserve your copy of the game, I suggest you do so right now. But if you're watching this video after September 15th, 2024, then depending on when you are watching this video is incredibly outdated already, and I would suggest you go check out one of my other videos on this channel. I generally upload videos on this channel that are about certain games and certain gaming aspects, but feel free to check out one of my other channels too. With all that said, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Any thoughts you'd like to share, post them in the comments below, and happy gaming!